Okay. Santa with Muscles stars Hulk Hogan as a millionaire prick who, while running from the cops after an incident was kind of like extreme paintballing, because everyone paintballs with like Hummers and motorcycles, he gets chased by the cops and then he goes and hides out in a mall dressed as like Santa. He falls down, hits his head, believes he's Santa. Because all the elves that work in the mall are like gamblers, and one owes lots of money. Recognize that, there's an orphanage, and some Captain Planet-esque named villains like Dr. Frost and Dr. Blight, chemist named Dr. Vile, geologist named Dr. Flint. If you're not laughing by now, this is as good as the jokes in this movie get. And they're evil, and they're trying to buy all this land, and because the orphanage is on some sort of energy crystal sparking explosive minefield of some sort. And that is Santa with Muscles. Oh. That is a synopsis, and you know what? If you try to find it like IMDb or Wikipedia, there really isn't. It's Hulk Hogan gets amnesia, fights people to save an orphanage. This is actually ranked one of the worst, in one of the top 100 worst movies of all time. When I first started watching, I'm like, alright. It kind of begins with like a girl writing a letter to Santa, like, oh Santa, our orphanage, there's lots of problems. And then the next scene is Hulk Hogan being attacked by people with like weed whackers, and I'm like, huh? And that's him working out because he sells like weight loss supplements and cereal and protein shakes, and then they go off paintballing, but they don't actually paintball, he just shoots the opposing team's captain, and then they drive off in their Humvees and motorcycles, and one of the motorcycles happens to hit Clint Howard, who's one of the cops, and he begins to chase them, and probably one of the worst chasing I've ever seen committed to film. And then they cut, to a bunch of elves who are gambling, and they can't seem to find where Santa is, so one goes, like, $50 for you can find Santa. Alright, fine, I'll go find Santa. Blake decides to hide out as Santa, falls through a ceiling tile or a floor vent, or he falls, gets amnesia, believes he's Santa. They then go to, like, the orphanage, ironically enough. And that's where, everyone thinks he's Santa. Because Santa's a tan guy who's huge. And Hogan's got short, like, boy band hair, and the orphanage is run by Garrett Morris. Why a good comedian wants to be... I have no idea. That's when you learn about people who are torturing people to buy the land, and it's Ed Begley Jr. I guess he needed the money, and a bunch of crappily named villains who torture some guy into selling his land, and they really want the orphanage, and they attack the orphanage while Rip Santa is there, and he does something, and then they leave, and everyone loves who he is, and the elf who decided to go along with him is just trying to get his thumbprint so he can take all of Blake's money. Yeah, there's like 9 plots going on at the same time that overlap. When you watch a movie and you're done, you just want to have a brain enema because you want to entirely forget the crap you just had. I mean, this is... Oh. And then at the end, when all the plots begin to finally congeal, like 9-year-old Jell-O sitting on a radiator. I mean, oh. And then it leads to Blake, who now does not have amnesia, but still likes being Santa because it's fun to be a good guy. Fights Ed Begley Jr., who's in some sort of suit that he needs the air to breathe, I guess, which leads to some sort of weird sparking sword rock fight underneath the catacombs full of energy crystals, and they fight too much, and that's when some weird energy explosion vortex destroys the orphanage. I had never seen this movie. You know, other ones I had seen before, so, you know, I just need to watch bits and pieces. I don't watch the whole thing. I had never seen Santa with muscles. Thanks to the magic of YouTube, I didn't have to spend any money to see it. I just had to watch, like, it in 10-minute intervals. Which is about all the standard human could probably watch of this movie. I envy the blind. They will never have to see Santa with muscles. Oh. God. Oh. Don't forget, pick my poison in March. If you want me to review, you know, there's 4 movies you vote on this month, and the top 2 I'll review in the first 2 weeks of March. Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Condemned, The Rock and Doom, John Cena and The Marine, or Ready to Rumble. Next week, when this is all finally done, 3 Ninjas. Oh. 3 Ninjas something High Noon Mega Mountain Explosion. Oh. Who keeps on putting up money to put Hogan in a movie in the 90s?